So yeah, that able to change off and that is normally high. Now as you can see, I've got to do remove them 10 drive. So anyway, let's get it sent. Well, it is sunny Monday again. Now I have been a little bit quiet because I've been absolutely extremely busy. But we've got a 2005 Nissan X-Trail which is having a bit of a turbo. Now, if I can show you this engine, it is running a little bit lumpy before we even start. Not sounding the best, but if we give it a little bit of a rev-a-rooney, you will be able to listen to it. It is sounding quite bad. Let's turn that off. Right, let's get involved. First thing we're going to do is disconnect the battery, and then we need to move around and get this intercooler out and also the fan pack. So we've got plenty of room down there. Now be prepared to have a few broken bolts on this, because the age of it, they do tend to rot a rooney. But anyway, let's get involved. Now that is the intercooler out of the way, and all the little bits are there in a nice little pile. Now when you're doing these older vehicles, or any vehicle in particular, you're going to get little vac pipes all over the place. Now if you're unsure where they go, just get your pen and put a couple of lines in them so you know, and match them up when you're removing them. It just saves a lot of hassle. Now we've got to take both intakes. That's the intake, that is the cold side, so it's going out into the intercooler. So we need to remove these. There's two 12s down there and there. Right, well I'm in a position now where I need to take the vehicle up in the air and get the coolant out of it. So let's get my lovely little apprentice now, Ben. He's on the button and he's going to take it up for me. Now it's in the air, we've got a lovely little receptacle draining the coolant into. Now while that's draining, what we're going to do is have a little look and see what we need to be doing from underneath. We've got this heat shield to remove, a little 14mm by there, and then we can drop it down. Yeah, we can drop it back down. As you can see, we've now got the vehicle back down to working height, and I've removed the radiator and the fan, which is by there. Now there is a pipe that comes off the bottom of the thermostat housing all the way around the front with a 12mm down the bottom there that you've got to remove. Now to make things a little bit easier for ourselves, we're just going to remove this thermostat housing with 4 12mm. Look at all that room that we've got there now. Thermostat housing out of the way, we've got the downpipe and cat off. Now these 317s here, they were emergency tight to a point where I thought they were going to snap, but they've all come undone relatively easy. Right, let's take it back up in the air and get the oil feed pipe off it. Now with this cat out of the way, we can get access to the oil return pipe and the feed pipe, which is just by there, and it's a 17mm. Right, with a little bit of magic now, we've undone all them manifold bolts around there. Everything's disconnected, so we should be able to now give it a little bit of a wiggle and pull that turbine manifold off. Look at that, beautiful. I'll tell you what, there's not much of a job to do, but they can be a little bit tricky. I'm just glad that all the nuts and bolts did come undone relatively easy. Right, with this turbo now, as you can see, we've got a lot of play in the shaft up and down, nothing in and out, but lots of side to side movement. Now the reason why these go like a woo woo sort of noise, make good effects tonight, is the impellers on them. What happens is the blades, the fins, whatever you want to call them, they get rough edges on them, and as the air is going in, it's not cutting through the air smoothly, and it's kind of rough and it's going woof, like that. You get me anyway. But yeah, there we go. Now I've got to get, I'm not looking forward to undoing that, because if that snaps, we've got to drill the manifold, and I don't really want that to happen, so we're going to give it a go, see what happens. Now I'm going to give it a little bit of a squirty rooney with some Launch Power Loop Plus and the ones on the upside, but we're not really worried about those ones there, because if they snap, they're into the turbo themselves, so we're not worried about that. After quite a while, we've now got our brand new remanufactured turbo. These are good turbos, believe it or not. If we have a little look Rooney, them impellers are now perfect, and we've got no play. Well, you have got a little bit of play. You're meant to have a little bit. Now, on this old one, I have cleaned the oil feed and return pipe out with brake and clutch cleaner, blown them out with the airline, and made sure that they are nice and clean. And we've also got some new gaskets and God knows what, so we just got to get this one built up. Right, now I put the turbo back on the manifold, we put the oil feed and return pipes on. All we've got to do now is grab hold of it, make sure that the gasket is on the cylinder head, fitting nice and flat. And then grab the new turbine, manifold should I say, off it up, slide it into place. Now find out all our nuts. Get them chucked on. We're going to look on our technical data. We've got inlet manifold to cylinder head, no, exhaust manifold to cylinder head, 29 to 33 newton meters. I'm going to get a little torque wrench now. I'm going to get these bolts all torqued up. Right, well I've got the manifold torqued up to the cylinder head now. I've put the downpipe and cat on, and also this heat shield here. I've got to put the big coolant hose, that one there, housing with the thermostat back on. And then I'm probably not going to be able to get it running tonight because it is 4:15. That didn't turn up till late, but no, we're going to keep plodding on. Well, me being me, amongst other stuff, I've had a little bit of a brain fart. Now, while I'm in the middle of putting all this back together, we're not far off it now. It's only just gone 25 past. We've got all the heat shields on, all the intake and cold feed pipes on, the radiator back in. While I'm just finishing off boxing up at the top, I'm just going to take it up and drain the oil out of it. Well, unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to get that vehicle running tonight. I've just been pulled off to have a look at something else, and it's now 5 to 5. Oh, I tell you what, today is just... It's just the last... I don't know, the last week or 2 weeks has just been... I seem to be doing a lot and getting nothing done, if that makes sense. But yeah, anyway, we'll see you all in the morning. Well, good morning, we are back and it is Tuesday morning. We're just about to put the brand new oil filter on. We updated it. A little bit of red rubber grease around it. I'm going to get that screwed on now. Now these oil filters, they only need to be hand tight. That's more than enough. The amount of oil filters that come in where people have swung on them and you have to crush them or to get them off. But anyway, while I'm got the vehicle up in the air, what I'm going to be doing, because I need to wind it over on the key to build the oil pressure for one thing or another, we're just going to be disconnecting, if I can do it one-handed, yeah, disconnecting the crankshaft sensor, which is by there on the gearbox, and that car is not going to start. Right, when I just disconnected this crankshaft sensor, I noticed, I wonder if this vehicle's having any problems starting or cutting out, because that plug is full of water. I don't know if you can see it coming out. But yeah, but what we're going to do is give it a bit of a clean with some contact cleaner and give it a bit of a clean out. Right, now I've got the vehicle back down at working height, so we put some fresh coolant in it. I'm just going to get some oil in it now, get it filled up, and then what we're going to do is get on the key and wind it over a few times and get that oil pressure built up. Right, well I have wound it over for about 30-40 seconds and I've waited for the oil pressure light to go out. I've now connected the crankshaft sensor back up. So ideally, if we get on the key and give it a big start-a-rooney, we should start up. And we're just going to leave it tick over. It's a bit lumpy that, isn't it? Well, it has sort of settled itself out, but it is running a little bit lumpy. But it was when it first come here, so we're not really worried about that. But however, I did give it a bit of a rev, and it did sound as if it's got a boost leak. Let me just put my camera there. Just round that far corner over here. So what we're going to do is get the smoke machine on it and see what's happening. Now I thought with this car, when I was revving it, it sounded a little bit throaty and you got like a whooshing of the turbo noise. Well, you're not going to believe this. There's no air filter in it. I can't believe that, I can't believe that. But anyway, I'm going to do a smoke test on it regardless, just to make sure that everything else is okay on it. but I have got an oil filter coming for it. An oil filter and air filter coming for it. Right, well I have now got the smoke machine coupled up, which is a launch smoke too. Absolutely brilliant bit of kit. Now, we have no boost leaks, but however, if we come around the back here, I don't know if you can see, put my camera, you're not going to see it probably. There we go. See that smoke? It's coming out of that injector rubber seal there, and that will explain all the oil down the back of the engine there. Right, well, we're going to have to inform the customer on that because it's not something that I'm going to get involved with today because I've got that much stuff going on. Right, let's get this brand new air filter now in this car and let's have a listen, see if it sounds normal. Right, well it's now back up and running, and to be honest, it doesn't sound the best, but not to worry. It is running awfully lumpy. We're going to give it a bit of a rev and see what it sounds like now. Well, that sounds 10 times better. Well, we're out and about in the car now. Got a few knocks and rattles and one thing and another. I think there's a little bit of wear in the dual masks as you're driving. You can feel the heavy vibration through the vehicle. But other than that, it pulls well. We've got no smokes, and well, yeah, the engine seems to be driving as it should. Even though it did sound a little bit rough. But anyway, let's get back to the garage. And there we go. I'm happy with that test drive, how it went. And I make sure that we got no leaks and stuff shortly when the MOT bay's free, so I can just pop it over and have a little look underneath, make sure there's no oil leaks and stuff. But yeah, hope you've all enjoyed the video, and that is one turbo replacement on a Nissan X-Trail. Let's get sent.